In this video we're going to be doing some Dandelion water drop refraction photography. Hello, my name's Stuart Wood and welcome to this video. And in this video it's going to be a very special video for anybody who has subscribed to the channel over the last 2 years. Every spring we do a dandelion themed shoot. The first one we did was just photographing dandelions, then we had water drops on dandelions, and then last year we also did water refraction photography. I'm going to take all of those techniques, I'm going to wrap them up all into one video. We're going to do dandelion water drop refraction photography, and we're going to take it step by step and we're going to build the scene up until we get to that image. So a few things we're going to need for this shoot is obviously we're going to need some flares. We have these here. We need a bowl. I've opted for a white bowl. I have a dish here where when we fill up the water, if it overflows, it's going to go safely into there and not ruin my desk. We have some dandelion clocks in here. I'd like to thank Lee Hall for getting these for me, because in his area he's got dandelions. Where I am, we haven't got it in time for this video. In a couple of weeks we will do. I've got a video light here that I'm going to be using for lighting setup. We are going to be doing continuous lighting in this video. Water, I've got milk, memo clips, my little mini tripod holder. We have a syringe to place our water drops. And we have a very, very tiny amount of plasticine, which I'm going to have to get creative with in order to get the dandelion seed to stick into there. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to place our bowl. This is the one that's going to have the water in. I'm going to place the bowl into the dish. That way any water that overflows will go into the dish. I'm going to bring it forward just a little bit. So what we want is we want our dandelion clock to be just below the surface of the water, and the water is going to be all the way up to the top here. I'm going to take my plasticine now. I'm going to squeeze it and just manipulate it into a longer piece that we can use to place our dandelion seed. And plasticine is great for doing this because, one, my memo clips are not going to go rusty, and two, just by squeezing it we can adjust the height of our dandelion clock. So if you're watching there, it'd be hard for you to see it, but if I squeeze it, it makes it go taller. So I'm going to place it towards the edge, because in this photography the background is very important, so we want room for our background. Next we need to pick out a dandelion clock, and we have lots to choose from, so this might take me a while. So although they're all dandelion clocks, they have different shapes and textures to them, so I want to choose one that I think is going to work well for this image that I have planned in my head. There, that one's going to work nicely. Then I'm going to place that into the plasticine. There we go. Looking at that, it's a little bit low. So again, all I've got to do here is squeeze on the plasticine, and that will extend the clock upwards. Okay, we're looking good there. Again, we're not going to know for sure whether it's in the right place until we get everything in place. So next I'm going to deal with the background. So we're going to be doing a water drop refraction photography again. This is going to be our background. We're going to have this refract into the water drop. And here's a tip for you, for anyone who is experience a problem with these crocodile clips or alligator clips. If you are putting flowers in and they are breaking the stems, get yourself a little plastic straw, then you'll find that that will hold quite nicely and it won't break the stem of the flower. So I'm going to place that right. Fortunately, I ain't got much room to play with this tripod. I want it to lie like that, so you might have to use one of these to get it to lie where I want it to lie. At the moment I'm just eyeballing the scene, because again, when we put the water in, everything is going to change. So we are now ready to put the water in, so let's start filling it up slowly. So our Jerboa daisy is kind of floating a little bit. Ideally I want the middle of the flower to be right on the water's edge. We're going to need some additional water. And the other thing you want to be careful as well is bits that are floating in the water. Now, you can remove them in Photoshop. It's just extra work that you might necessarily not need to do if you pay attention. So I am going to keep going till it practically overflows. There we go. That's exactly where we want it. Now our flower wants to float, so we might have to try and weight down just a little bit. And again, we can't really finalize things until we get the camera in position, but I think that's looking okay the way it is. So let's get our camera out now. So for this photo shoot, we are using the EOS R with the 100mm macro lens. Links to all the equipment I use are on my website, so go and check that out if you want to see exactly what I use in my photography. Now what's important here is we want the camera to be level. We don't want to tilt it down to look at our Dandelion clock, otherwise it's not going to work. So we've got to get everything lined up properly. Okay, so let's get the camera turned on. If you're using a digital SLR, I would recommend you use live view. It makes this type of photography a lot easier. Okay, so we're just going to find the Dandelion clock. We're too close to there, so let's bring it back a bit. Now, as for focusing, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to focus yet because we haven't put the water drop on, but we'll just do a ballpark and just focus on the actual Dandelion stem. And now we have something in place, we can level this off a little bit. And also I want it a bit lower. What we want to do now is put a water drop on there so we have something for us to focus on and get the background sorted out. There we go, we've got our needle. Yeah, we've got the water drop bang in the middle. Let me place this in here now and see if we can get this lined up. This is one of my old video lights that I used to use for my videos, whereas I've replaced the lights now. I am considering doing a video on the new lights for the studio. I'm going to have to place this here so it's not shining in your face. So if you want to know about my lighting setup for YouTube, then let me know and I'll see if I can get that one video sorted out for you. So let's place our flower back in the background. And the longer you spend doing this, the setup, the better your image is going to be. And sometimes you will get these dandelion seeds that just don't want to play. They won't do what you want it to do. You just got to keep on going, okay? Now the aim here is to get our light on the background flower but not the drop. Okay, you can see there. Don't want the flower right there. Okay, let's have a look here. Just got to place the flower properly. Oh, there we go. And the flower is too far away. So if you look at the footage there, you can see the flower in the water drop, but you can also see the outside of the studio, which means that the flower is too far back. So let's bring it forward. Okay, right about there. The other thing I can do, of course, is to lower the dandelion clock. I'll be honest with you, I really don't want to mess around with that dandelion clock because it's in place. Okay, so what we want to do now then is take a picture. And the reason I'm doing it like this is I want to show you that you don't need specialised equipment. You don't need, you don't have to run out and grab third arms if you want. You can just prop things up, you don't have to have a flash. You can just use a torch. So like I said before, the more time you spend on this particular part of the setup, the better your image will be. I have my torch now. Now, important when doing this type of photography is you need to zoom in. Zoom in on your preview, have a look, see if you're happy. What I want to do is get rid of the bowl out of shot. So I'm going to bring up my camera. I'm going to replace the water with some milk now. I really don't like it. Yeah, the background is too in focus for my liking. Let's lower that f-stop again then. Let's go to 5.6. We shall lower our ISO to compensate. So that's at now 400. Okay, and we'll take another picture. And I think that dandelion clock has worn out now, because as they get wet, they start to close up. And right now, I'm just playing around with the light. I'm just moving it around to see what I like, what I don't like. And I can't stress enough just to keep taking pictures, keep changing the setup, and keep playing. That's what's important here, is to play. If you don't play and experiment around, you're never going to find that unique composition that you're looking for. So I didn't really like the result of the milk. It was worth a go. It was personal taste, I suppose. But because we've got the bowl in place now, all I've got to do is just keep filling this bowl up, and eventually the milk will disappear. We have less milk in there now. Let's try that before I completely replace the milk and see what we got. What happens if you top light it from above? Let's see what happens if we light it from above, shall we? You know, you could try here. What if we light the flare with this light, like that? Because again, you never know what you're going to get till you experiment. So I've reset it up with clear water again. I do prefer the clear water, I'll be honest with you. That's just my personal taste. Okay. And what's important, and which is why I'm showing you this whole process, is that you have to play. There's no point going word for word, taking it from a blog article or a video. You've got to learn to play with this yourself. And this time, instead of using a single water drop, I'm going to spray a bunch of water drops onto the dandelion clock. And you want to spray a lot of water. Keep building it up over time. There we go. Okay, so my battery's dying in my torch, which isn't going to help this this video any, is it? So my torch battery has died. Complications that you have to work with on these sets. And again, just gotta keep experimenting. Keep changing your setup. Don't go with the same thing all the time. So right now I'm just playing around with the light to see where I want to light it. I want to light the back flare and not the dandelion clock, okay? That is important for this one. I want to light the background, not the dandelion clock. Yeah, that's looking nice. This time I'm going to put my f-stop to 2.8. I want to see what it looks like at 2.8 because that can give you a dreamy look to your image. Okay, we'll do another shot, and I'm holding the light just out of frame of the camera. Yeah, that was good. So although we've got ourselves some good images that you've seen here, I'm going to carry on experimenting. And the one thing I can do now that I couldn't do before is change lenses. So we're going to get a little bit closer to this dandelion clock and see what effect that will give us. Alright, so I've broken out the Canon MPE 65mm lens now. This is something I've not done before. This is unknown territory to me now. And I'm going to zoom into... Let's start with 3 times magnification, shall we? And for this, I seriously need some light now. Put it this side, just so that you don't get blinded. We might not be able to use 3 times because, yeah, as I thought, we're too close. Let's knock it back to 2 times. And again, we have to move the camera because this lens doesn't have a focusing ring. Let's get to 1.5 instead. So what I can do instead now is very gently now is move the entire setup. And I've pushed it to the point where the center drop is in focus. Let's have a look at the lighting on that. Yeah, our flare needs to be moved just a little bit. Because last time I did this, I was mostly concentrating on teaching you how to do it. I didn't pay attention to the background. It was slightly off and it really irritated me. So I want to make sure we get it this time. Getting all technical on you now. There we go. You can see here how I'm turning the light very slowly and that affects how the image looks. And you can see there how it affects the image. Even slight movements of the light will affect your image. So bear that in mind and move your light around to see what you can get. Now if you understand the inverse square law, the closer I am, the more powerful and the more light it gives off. So by varying the distance on my torch, I can verify how bright the background is. But that is basically it. You just play around with the settings, play around with the liquid, play around with your water drops, play around with your lighting, play around with the background. That is it. So I'm going to show you some images now from this same session because I've been doing it about 2 hours now. So here are my favourite shots from this session. So that's it from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's given you some ideas for giving it a go yourself. And please do give it a go yourself. It's very easy. You don't need the best equipment. You don't even need proper lighting. You can just play around with whatever you got. You got a light on your phone, you can use that. But that is it. And again, I've still learnt things. I've learned to put the Dandelion clock closer to the edge so that I can actually use my new lens and get a good close-up picture of it. We are always learning. There's no photographer out there that knows everything. You are always striving to learn more. But that's it. I want to thank you for getting to the end of this project. My name's Stuart Wood and I will see you on the next video. And we're going to have a nice reflection in the base of the bowl. This is our dish that we used for... No, it's not. We used a small one for that. Pop that into your holder, into your grip. Pop that into your alligator grip. Clip. Checking my cameras, make sure everything is recording and is in focus. You behave yourself. If you're using a digital SLR, I recommend you use live view. It makes this type of photography a lot easier. I just banged my microphone again, didn't I? Next time I design this room, I'm fitting laminate flooring and not carpet because my tripod's getting caught on the carpet. And then we can compensate the rest of our exposure, not by pressing the button, and move your image,